of the running back landing spots and running back, because I
Everybody
put
changed. Yeah.
everybody, and nobody's like, oh, that sucks. I mean, a couple maybe, but really everybody landed fucking clean. Like, I was super surprised. It was like nobody really got overlooked. Everybody got signed.
Yep.
I think there's an easy answer, and I'm hoping you say it. But what's your absolute favorite, like, click landing spot?
Um. So Josh Jacobs to the Packers, I think, is the first one. Obviously, Saquon Barkley to the Eagles is amazing.
Yes,
Um, I do.
yes, it's a good one.
I think that so the Barkley thing I think has a couple of question marks just based on the fact that Jalen Hurts steals all the touchdowns, um, and maybe doesn't throw to running backs quite as much as you think. But like Josh Jacobs, especially with the fact they dropped Aaron Jones right after they signed him, and they gave
Yeah,
him this massive deal with a lot of guaranteed money. This is a
yeah,
young up and coming offense. I think they always want to be run balanced and make sure that they're doing all that stuff on the ground so they can use the play action game. That's just a part of their DNA in Green Bay. With ascending quarterback and ascending offense in general, a very good play caller in LaFleur. To me, Josh Jacobs is like the big winner. But there's a lot of really good ones here. Obviously, Derrick Henry to the Ravens. That's super
there's the
fun.
one.
Yeah, Derrick
There's the
Henry.
one.
I mean, Henry to the Ravens is pure sex. I just
Yes,
like he's just so old. It's just like this is kind of like a ride into the sunset type of deal. But like I
sure.
really do love, I love that fit for him. I think there was some stats being thrown around about how much they like to run outside. Like I think that's perfect for him. Like pairing him
Yes,
with Lamar, where you have Lamar kind of freezing defensive ends a little bit. This is going to open things up for Lamar too, by the way.
yes,
Um,
sir.
and so this is, of course, a great landing spot for him. It's going to be so much fun to watch just from a pure aesthetics point of view. You can't, I don't know
Yes,
if you can beat this, like truly.
no.
Um, and so that's a fun one. But like it's tough to choose because I like the Barkley, I like the Jacobs, I like the Henry landing spots. I think Aaron Jones will probably be pretty good this year at the
I like
Vikings.
Aaron Jones' spot. That's the
Um,
thing. I mean,
yeah,
Mixon lands in Houston. That's also solid.
yeah, no doubt. I'm kind of like I haven't really been a huge Mixon guy for whatever reason. Just like over the years, I've never had him on any of my dynasty
Yeah,
teams. It's just sort of one of those things. But like, I think that's a great situation again with an ascending offense, an offense that wants to run the ball. They want to be balanced. This is something they proved last year. I also, by the way, like the Zach Moss landing in
that's a
shoot.
big
Where did it
question.
go?
To Cincinnati.
Yeah, he switched with Mixon.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
like,
like
dude, it's
blanking.
honestly, I do
Yeah,
this with my brain too. That I'll think of a player and I'm like, wait, who does he play for again?
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it takes a second to remember all the shit.
My
But
recall is a little bad yesterday after like the last 48 hours of just like being on Twitter watching all the moves come in. But yes, I like the Zach Moss and Cincy thing is too because and this is something I saw a couple of people talking about on Twitter is Zach Moss is way like he's at his best running out of shotgun looks.
yes, I
And
saw this.
that's
Scott
what
Barrett.
yeah, Scott Barrett
Yeah,
and another guy who's
yeah, I can't remember the. Yeah, I saw your retweet. It
Zach
was a great
Cruz maybe.
retweet. Yeah,
Anyways, it was a great point, and it's really fun to see that because like you love a good scheme fit. I think Zach Moss is a good player, and there's going to be volume there. I think obviously they're going to rotate him with Chase Brown a little bit. There's very few situations in the NFL where it's like you're going to get a bell cow situation, but
agreed.
um, I also have Zach Moss on like 17 teams, so I'm just like so excited about that. I just
There you
like
go.
for whatever
And
reason I grabbed him in every single league I'm in almost, and so that's paying off for me right now.
I
Hopefully,
would tell you that it may be a time to sell.
I know,
Because there's uncertainty there. It's not like he signed a bell cow contract, right? We've seen this before.
right?
Who was it last year that did the? Well, it was like even Madison last year did this. Where everybody thought
Yep,
Madison was
yep,
good, and it's like Madison. I think Zach Moss is actually better than Madison as a player, but like
same.
everybody was like, "Oh, the opportunity, don't worry about it. Look how good he was in 2 games once in his career." So Zach Moss kind of a little bit of the same thing. Was never really demanding anything, and then got some opportunity in a great system, and played well. But he could be a limited player. And Chase Brown has some exciting upside. Who knows what they're thinking in Cincinnati? He could be sort of the handcuff and backup to Chase Brown potentially. That's in the realm of possibilities. I'm just playing it out. Yeah, Zach Moss could be the lead dog. It's definitely
Where
possible.
I guess my only pushback, and I totally agree with you overall. Like he's probably a good sell just based on people assuming he's going to be the lead guy, but like Also, is anybody gonna pay up for him? Like, you know what I
No.
mean? Like, is anybody gonna give you a second round pick, early second round for that? I'd almost rather keep him than try and trade like a third or a late second. I guess I'd probably take a late second for him, but like, to me, it's just like, what's the value you're gonna get from him this year if he does end up being like 60-40 split? I think that's like pretty massive, and so it is what it is one of those situations where you gotta kind of put out feelers. But I feel like no one's gonna pay too much for this guy.